Hey everyone, Astrologer Eric Rosen here for Viking Rising Astrology. This is your Monday daily horoscope for May 20th, 2024. Well, I know we probably want to push pretty hard with the ego. Today you've got Mars that's crossed over that North Node in Aries, and so it's like bruja or boo-ha, depending on if you're feeling victimized, I guess, not feeling good about how things are going. It could be a woe is me attitude. It can be lethargy. It can be a dip in energy, or it can be like overexertion. But what I want to say is, with that moon today, still in Libra, it is seeking some type of emotional balancing, especially in partnerships, and really just weighing out things in life in general of how to feel better. It does make a quincunx over to first Venus, then Jupiter, and then the sun that's going to be in Gemini today, which is really the big theme of starting off Gemini season now, which I'll talk about. But it's like we want to find this emotional balance through, yes, relationships or project situations, money, the vision, the belief in life, the taking the steps forward without getting too unbalanced. And then when it makes that quincunx of that sun in Gemini, I definitely think, especially as it moves into Scorpio as the moon will today, I think we want to be really careful about not psyching ourselves out, not getting scared about, maybe just this could deal with routines. It could deal with just the busyness of life. We don't want to get like too Scorpio, like emotionally about getting to the bottom of things, of like we're getting too charged about one side of the Gemini coin or the other. Like we're determined to figure things out on a rational level, or determined to figure things out on the negative, unconscious, evil twin, side of things, right? Like pushing for something, I think, to especially watch for. I think it's keeping things neutral, emotionally fair, emotionally balanced, that when that moon does square over to Pluto, that if anything, we're just going deep into the rewind of the tape and reminding ourselves like, hey, it is safe to slow down. We don't have to mess around with trying to understand too much about too far ahead into the future. Like that's such old news. It's like coming back to the present, understanding of whatever it is that we're creating that keeps us emotionally fair and balanced. I think really the big thing today with this Gemini kickoff to the season, is like when it comes to conversations, when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to these situations, it's being in the seat of awareness. It's like Eckhart Tolle, like being the watcher of the thinker, of the witness. That way we can start to detect, maybe our own, negative ego, insidious psychology, things that where we almost like we distract ourselves. This could be being overstimulated and falling for situations, that just aren't really helping us evolve, especially spiritually, because that moon also makes a quincunx over to Neptune. And so we definitely don't want to fall for subconscious traps of like what we think is going to be some peaceful, easy escape. I mean, it's bunched up astrology, everyone. We just got to keep laying the tracks forward, and it's not even worrying so much about like how much resources you have, right? Like, well, I would feel better if I had more money, or I feel better if I had this partnership, or I would feel better if this situation. It's like laying the tracks looks like taking the track that you just crossed and like putting it in front of you. Like if you could like reach behind you or reach, behind you and just like put the track together. It's like the masculine feminine piece even too. And like almost like that twin Gemini energy of like, who cares what's behind you? Doesn't matter. Do you have enough tracks? Do you have enough resources to move forward, to evolve, to, get things done? Because it's not even about that, right? Like that's the attitude where we get lost in our subconscious of, the ego like wants something, and more so just like, what's the beauty? What's the fertility? What's the creation element? And so just focusing on that small section of track that you're on, like railroad tracks, we can come to more of a planted, rooted, grounded thing of, like I can be peaceful, I can relax, I can see what's around me, I can, oh, look, there's some beautiful flowers. Oh, look, here's this person that I love, whatever. And it's like, it's finding the enjoyment. There's no need in this astrology to psych ourselves out, especially about, trying to move an action, a creation, a future situation forward. It's just, it's basic in the sense of like, the greatest pleasure really today comes from, and this is for people that are on their spiritual path, this is a deep one that gets this, but it is transcending to the next layer of consciousness, that it's like our way of understanding or viewing things from our perspective is not going to get us to the next level. That prior section of track, that even epiphany moment, right? Because like there is a yod, a finger of God forming today that's going to form from Neptune, Jupiter to that moon at the end of Libra. And so it's like, even that's a fleeting moment of like a deep spiritual, big epiphany moment. Could, again, things to create peace in your life, relationships, maybe like a deeper sense of justice, of, you know, an overall just like healthy well-being. But it's like utilize that information, that emotional insight, understanding to further your endeavors forward. But it's like not trying to like, you know, make a meal out of it. It's just like, it's just a yod to the moon. It's still, take it with a grain of salt, especially because that is a moon in Libra with the South Node. Whatever it is, insight that we get, especially towards the evening time, it's like, don't like take it to the bank and like make it your new spiritual belief system. Just appreciate the beauty of the insight, and that essential energy is what can actually fuel just shifting you into the next gear of creation and in your heart's expression of whatever it is. This is about having the best things in life. This is not about shortcuts. This is not about quick hits. This is not about dopamine hits, especially, as I said. This is not a time to like lay low either. You know, like it's like even challenging our own egos and our own minds, you know, about what rest looks like, that sometimes rest can just be a peaceful, balanced central nervous system, and revolutionizing that belief that as we take action and go into creation mode, it can actually look very beautiful. And then there's symmetry to the energy and the intention that we're putting into whatever it is that we're doing, you know, making the phone call, creating the content, doing the next task at your business or your work, or interacting with your family or your kids. It's very much just the energy that's behind these things. So speaking of families, if you guys want to get an astrology reading for any of your loved ones in your family, including your children, regardless of any age, you can pop into that link down below for an astrology reading. And yeah, the calendar system is open. Find the time that works for you, and I will see you there. If not, I will see you on the next horoscope.